Whenever you're ready, go ahead and find a tall, comfortable seat. And then just sit up really, really tall. So allow the palms to rest wherever feels comfortable, either face down or face up. Close the eyes if that feels comfortable, or allow the gaze to soften. And as you sit up really, really tall, just allow everything outside. Let it fall to the wayside. Everything that will happen after this class hasn't happened yet. So just focus on the breath, the body, the mind into this current moment in time, current space. And then as you sit up really, really tall, start from the crown of the head all the way up through the tips of the toes. And just start to notice any points of tightness, tension, soreness, stickiness. As you take mental note of those places, send a little extra breath there throughout your practice. And then as you sit up really, really tall, just feel the seat really, really heavy. So it's kind of like these contrasting actions. And as the seat starts to root down, just feel the ground press back up into your seat. And whatever is underneath you supporting you also continues to press back. Feel the low belly tone up so your navel draws up and in towards your spine. And then start to feel the navel draw up and in. The low belly starts to tone up as you send breath into the spaces in between each vertebra. Allow both sides of the waist to grow all the way up towards the ceiling of the sky. And then notice your shoulders in space. Draw them up, back, then down away from your ears. And feel almost as if you want to pinch a pencil in between your shoulder blades. And then collarbones expand from left, right, left. And allow the heart to passively float up towards the ceiling as you bring the base of your skull back. So allow the shoulders to stack directly over the hips. And then notice the breath cadence, see where it's at. Whether it's fast, smooth, shallow, or somewhere in between, just notice. As always, we'll sync up the breath cadence together. 3 cleansing rounds of breath. To start, take a deep exhale, empty out all the air. We'll do 3 together. Deep inhale, fill it from the base of your belly. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. It's 2 more. Deep inhale into the lungs, expand your ribcage. And open mouth, exhale. 1 more. Deep inhale into the chest, collarbones, head. Open mouth, exhale. And in these final few moments, just begin to set an intention for yourself. If you'd like, I'd like to place 1 hand to my heart, 1 hand to my belly. And as you do this, just take a moment, draw inwards, and see whatever is going on with you. This transcends both emotionally, mental, physically. You know, right now is not particularly the best time. And we're all trying to find some kind of consistency, some answers, things like that. And that's when we lean a little heavier into this practice, where we can just kind of zone in on the body, the mind, the breath, and everything else just falls to the wayside just for a moment. Think about what it is that you need or want out of this practice, but at the same time, allow this practice to be of supportive service to you. So just begin to use those things to shape your intention, whatever that might be, thought, phrase, word, feeling, or dedication. And whatever that is, just allow that alongside your breath to guide your practice. And bring your intention towards the top of your mind. And with 1 final round of breath together, we'll share our collective intentions. Smooth inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. Whenever you feel ready, eyes blink open, palms release. Let's go ahead and make our way to a child's pose, so balasana. Big toes to touch behind you, knees up super, super wide. So you'll go ahead and allow your torso to hang into the spaces in between your knees. Arms reach all the way out forward as you rest your forehead onto the mat. The forehead is kind of lifted, or the hips are really, really high. Just let me know. And I want you to spend these next few rounds of breath here just to take inventory of the outer hips. Just notice the feet, the tops of the feet, the head, really, really heavy here. And then as you are in your child's pose, if it feels good, rock the forehead from left, right, right, left a few times. Let's take one more big breath. Let's go ahead and crawl both hands all the way over towards the left edge of your mat. Your left palm can come off of it, and then right palm to stack on top. Head will nestle in between the arms. And then feel a big ol' side body stretch from the base of the right hip all the way out through the right fingertips. And I want you to visualize your right lung expanding so much that your rib cage starts to expand with it like an accordion. Do one more deep breath. And then transition your way back towards center, then switch. Right palm can come off of the mat, left palm stacks on top. Just nestle your head into the space in between your arms. And then same thing, other side. Expand through the left rib cage. Breathe into your left lung, but at the same time, allow the left hip to be really, really heavy here. Feel the belly expand as you breathe. And take one more big breath here. And then transition your way back towards center. Put pressure into all 10 finger pads, rise up to all fours, your tabletop. So once here, press weight evenly through all 10 finger pads, and then press down through your left palm. Go ahead and reach your right palm all the way up towards the ceiling. So open up your chest, lean the base of your skull back, right shoulder back. Feel a little bit of spinal rotation as you open up through the fronts of the shoulders. And then on your exhale, you'll thread your needle, draw your right palm all the way underneath your left rib cage, rest your right ear to the mat. If it feels a little far away, you got a book or a block that you can place underneath your right ear. So just feel the upper back expand. It's almost as if the shoulder blades want to separate and do nothing with each other. Take one more deep breath here, and then we'll add on just to get into the inner left hip. From here, I want you to stick your left leg all the way out to the left side of your mat. So all 5 toes will point forward towards the front of your mat. And then your left hip will be in line with your left ankle roughly. And as you look at your left foot, I want you to press weight into the baby toe edge, big toe edge of your left foot. And then you'll start to feel the outer left hip and a little bit of the inner left hip. And then look at your left knee. With your right hand, you'll either grab for on top of the right knee, rather the left knee, or below the left knee. And then with that grip, roll a little deeper onto your right shoulder. I like to tense up through my left fingertips for a little more stability here. And then continue to press, press, press. Last big breath. Let's first go ahead and release the grip here, and then allow the left knee to come back. Bring your left hand back towards your face, press through that, and then come back to all fours. So we'll go ahead and do the other side. So press down through your right palm, reach the left fingertips all the way up towards the nice. Open up through the chest, and then on your exhale, you'll thread. So draw the left palm underneath your right rib cage. And then rest your left ear either to the mat, to a block, or a book. And you can crawl the right palm forward, tense up through the fingertips. And then same thing, feel the upper back broaden. And then like we did on the other side, go ahead and stick your right leg all the way out towards the right side. So not behind you, just to the outside. You should be able to see your right foot directly. So once more, right hip, roughly in line with the ankle, and then press weight through the baby toe edge, big toe edge of your right foot. And then as you look at your right knee, you'll take your left hand, either grab for on top of or below that, and you'll roll a little deeper onto your left shoulder. If the heel is lifted or the baby toe edge of your foot is lifted, that's also okay, but just actively put pressure Drive the knife edge of your foot down. Continue to keep the breath steady. You got one more here. Nice. Release the grip of your right leg. Nice. And then bring your right palm back to your face, right knee to meet the left. Press down through the right palm. And then come back to all fours. We'll do a few rounds of cow cats, and then we'll add on just a bit. So inhale for cow pose, drop your belly, raise your gaze. And then exhale, cat pose, tuck your chin in towards your chest, navel up and in. Nice. Inhale for cow. And then exhale, cat. We'll just go through a few more rounds like this. Let's do about 2-ish more rounds. Cool, last round here. And then neutral tabletop. So I want you to look at the top of your mat and visualize that as 12 o'clock to the right, 3 to the back, 6 to the left, 9. So start out in a cow pose, drop your belly, raise your gaze, and start to shift your weight all the way over towards 3 o'clock. Okay? And then shift the hips back towards 6 o'clock. This is where you transition towards a cat pose. And then move all your weight towards 9 o'clock. Return back to your cow. Now we're at 12 o'clock. Shift weight over towards 3 o'clock. Then transition towards your cat pose, 6 o'clock. Keep going. And then 12 o'clock, you return back to your cow. Let's do 2 more here. So these can be a little faster, a little slower. We got 1 more. Beautiful. So come back towards center, your 12 o'clock, and then we'll switch directions. So your cow pose at 12 o'clock, shift weight over towards 9 o'clock. Then tuck your chin in, navel up and in. You got 3 o'clock all the way over there. And then by now, start to return back to your cow pose. Keep going. Shift weight to 9 o'clock. Then 6 o'clock, you transition towards your cow. 3 o'clock. Back to cow at 12. Nice. 1 more here. Beautiful. Come back towards center whenever you are ready. Giant palm print. Your hands will move forward and then tuck your toes, hips up and back, come into a downward facing dog. So take these next few rounds of breaths just to pedal out your feet, bend one knee, bend the other. Press your palms into the mat so your chest wants to drive a little closer towards your thighs. And just take inventory of the entire back body. Beautiful. From here, come to stillness and see that your feet are roughly hip width distance-ish, hands roughly shoulder width distance-ish. Any amount of bend into your knees is cool, especially if the upper back feels a little tight or the backs of the legs are a little tight right now. Beautiful. From your downward facing dog, bend your right knee deeply, and then with your left foot, swivel onto the left ball mound of your foot so your toes will turn out to about 45-ish degrees, and then drive your heel flat. So this is kind of like a warrior 1 stance with your left foot. So press weight into the baby toe edge and then start to bump your hips a little closer towards the left. You'll get into the outer left hip as you press the ground away from you and a big old calf stretch. So if you've been doing a lot of running or walking, the calves get really, really tight. This is a really, really nice stretch for that. Let's take 1 more deep breath. And go ahead and swivel back onto the left ball mound of the foot. We'll switch sides. Bend deeply into your left knee. Swivel onto the right ball mound of your foot. Drive your heel flat. So the heel will be towards the middle of your mat. And then toes will point out to about 2-ish o'clock here. Now as you did so, other side, you'll press weight into the baby toe edge of your foot. Actively press the ground away from you. Now bump your hips a little closer towards the right. And there's that outer right hip, right calf. One more time. Take one more deep breath. And then come back towards center, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Draw the right leg up and back in space. And then exhale, bend at your right knee, stack your hips. So you'll take circles, shakes, wiggles with your right knee, right ankle, lubricate through the right hip socket. Nice. Right leg up and back. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Nice. Go ahead and tent up through your fingertips. Look forward, chest forward. Then exhale, bend your left knee, tap it down. I'll do this 2 more times. Straighten through the left leg. And then exhale, bend your left knee, tap it down. Nice. One more. Straighten through the left leg. And then exhale, bend and tap. This time as you straighten through the left leg, shift the hips up and back, straighten through your right. Now we'll set up for Parsvottanasana pyramid. So walk the left foot in about a footprint or so. Like we did earlier, turn and ground the heel. So the toes will point out to about 10-ish o'clock, so about 45-ish degrees. To the best of your ability, straighten through the right leg. If you have a block at home or 2 blocks at home, this might be helpful to place your palms underneath. If you don't have one, not a big deal. You just rest your weight lightly onto your shin and then keep both sides of the waist really long. Alternatively, if tenting up through the fingertips works for you, go for that. From here, I want you to feel the backs of both legs. So feel as if you're dragging your right heel towards the back of the mat and then the left heel forward. Now lead with the crown of your head forward and down. Nice. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. Go ahead and gaze forward, rebend through the right knee, and then make your way back, downward facing dog. Nice. Smooth inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. We'll switch sides. Left leg extends up and back. Then exhale, bend at your left knee, stack your hips. So try to take circles, shakes, wiggles like you did so other side. Get into your left hip socket. Left heel is really heavy. It wants to kick your right glute. Beautiful. Left leg extends up. And then exhale, draw your foot in between your hands. Nice. Tent up through your fingertips, gaze forward, chest forward. Exhale, bend your right knee, tap it down. Nice. 2 more. Straighten through the right. And then exhale, bend and tap. Nice. 1 more. Straighten through the right. Exhale, bend and tap. Nice. This time as you straighten through the right leg, shift the hips up and back. Nice. To the best of your ability, straighten through the left once more. And then we'll set up for pyramid. So right foot in, turn the toes out about 30-ish, 45-ish degrees. Once more, feel free to utilize block or root. Several stacks of books works too. And then ensure that the spinal column is nice and long. So just notice if the upper back is kind of disengaged. You'll put a little extra strain onto the low back. So it's almost as if you're squeezing your shoulder blades together and driving the chest forward and down. Take 1 more big breath as you visualize the heels coming closer to each other in the middle. And then as you're ready, rebend through the left knee, hands flat to the mat, and then step back, downward facing dog. So just take a few rounds of breath here. So return back to your down dog. All right, who's doing so good? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes. Nice. Inhale, glide forward to a high plank. So allow the shoulders to stack over the wrists and then actively press the ground away from you. So it's almost as if you want your heart to lift up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath here, hold your plank. And then exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. 2 more just like this. Inhale, glide forward. Press the ground away from you a lot. Exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. It's 1 more just like this. Inhale, glide forward. Crown of the head reaches forward. Then exhale, draw the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, set your gaze forward. And then exhale, walk your feet to meet your hands at the top of your mat. And go ahead and separate your feet about outer hips width distance, a little wider than hips width distance. I want you to bend your left knee deeply. And then take your right hand in between your feet. You know, always tent up through the fingertips. I'm a small person, so I got small arms. So put my palm to a block. As I do this, I'll bend. And then option 1, right hand to the low back. Or option 2, right palm all the way up towards the ceiling. And so you'll feel a nice big old stretch through the right side, outer right hip. This right shoulder draws up and back, so your left hand, as it presses, gives you that leverage to open up. Slowly undo it, and then we'll switch. Right palm in between your feet, tent up through the fingertips, or prop your palm up. Bend into your right knee. And then option 1, left hand to your low back, or left palm reaches all the way up towards the ceiling. So as you continue to straighten through the left leg to the best of your ability, just feel the outer left hip. And then right palm, as it presses down, that gives you leverage to open up your chest even more. Last breath. Beautiful. Left palm back down. Draw both feet as close as comfortable to touch. Draw your hands to your hips, elbow tips point up. Squeeze through the low belly and rise all the way up with a long, long spine. Head, neck, shoulders are last to arrive. And then release your arms out to your side. Stand tall in your mountain pose. Take a deep inhale breath. Shrug your shoulders all the way up towards your ears. And take a big open mouth exhale. One more time. Inhale, shoulders shrug all the way up towards the ears. And then open mouth exhale. We'll start off with 3 half salutations. So inhale, draw your arms all the way up and overhead, upward facing salute. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Let's find a halfway lift. Look forward, long, long spine. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling. Press through both feet. Then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Let's find a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Nice. One more time through. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling. Press through both feet. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Let's find a halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. This time, hands flat to the mat. Step your left foot back, step the right foot back, come back into your high plank. Take a big inhale breath. Once more, aggressively press the ground away from you. And then exhale, lower knees. Then flatten all the way down to your belly. Set up for Shalabhasana, locust. So arms sweep back behind you. Use the inhale breath. Lift your arms, chest, legs. So everything that'll lift stays lifted. And instead of gazing forward, gaze down, keep the spinal column long. One more breath. And then slowly release. You'll slide your palms to your shoulders. Use the inhale breath. Cobra, Bhujangasana, so lift just your chest. You got little to no weight here. And then feel as if you're dragging your palms to your ribcage forward. One more smooth breath. Dig your pelvis down. And then exhale, undo it. My apologies for that. Go ahead and tuck your toes and use the inhale breath, press up to a tabletop or plank. Then exhale, draw the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take 2 rounds of breath here, settle back in. Nice. I don't know how to turn this off. Thanks. Whenever you're ready, inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands, top of your mat. Find a halfway lift, long, long spine. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Nice. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips one more time. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, hands flat, step back, high plank. Inhale, breath, press the ground away from you. And then exhale once more, lower all the way down. So we'll repeat the same thing that we did. You lower all the way down. Sweep the palms back behind you. Use the inhale breath, lift your arms, chest, legs. And then everything squeezes tightly towards the center. Nice, one more big breath. And then exhale, undo it. Nice, slide your palms to your shoulders, tuck your toes. And then use the inhale, lift just your chest. So you're digging the tops of your feet so much that the kneecaps start to lift. And then exhale, slowly release. Nice, begin to tuck your toes and use the inhale breath to press up to a tabletop or plank. Exhale, draw the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice, 2 more rounds of breath here to settle into your down dog. Deep inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. 1 more big inhale. And smooth exhale. Nice, inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands, top of your mat. Nice, halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling. It's different this time. Draw your hands towards your heart and then release your hands to your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. I'm really sorry, you guys. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Nice, halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then this time, hands flat to the mat. Step your right foot back, then lower your right knee down. Nice. Inhale, low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana, arms extend all the way up. So for these first 2 sides, I want you to put both hands to the top of your left thigh. Now, typically, instead of sinking your hips all the way down, I want you to press that away from you. Press your thigh away from you. And then notice the front right hip. As you press down, keep both sides of the waist long. Now sink down low. You'll get a little deeper as you press first away. It's a little counterintuitive. And then you dig down through the right shin, feel the front right hip open up, and then arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling. Cinch the front ribs in. 1 more breath here. And then exhale, hands flat to the mat, step back, find a downward facing dog. All right, inhale, breath, glide forward, shoulders slightly past your wrists. And then from here, your choice. Bend your elbows halfway or lower all the way down like we did in the beginning. Untuck your toes, knees, thighs lift. So you've got an up dog, cobra, or locust here. And then exhale, draw the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg extends up and back. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana, arms reach and extend all the way up. And then like we did on the other side, I want you to put both hands to the top of your right thigh. Actively press away from you to start. Then start to sink your hips down. Reach your arms all the way back up and overhead and take 2 more breaths here as you dig your left shin down. So you got 1 more deep breath. Beautiful. Hands flat to the mat. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then step forward towards the top. Halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. So to the other side. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling. Press through both feet. And then slide both palms towards your heart. Release your hands to your sides. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Then exhale, hands flat. Step your left foot back, lower your left knee down. Nice, once more, low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana. So think about what you did on the first side. Instead of sinking your hips down and then back bending a whole lot, lift up and out of your waist, press through the right foot, dig down through your left shin, lengthen as you reach and extend the fingertips up. Just one more deep breath here. Beautiful, hands flat to the mat, and then step back, downward facing dog. Use the inhale breath, glide forward, shoulders slightly past the wrists. Then exhale, bend your elbows halfway or lower all the way down. Up dog, cobra, or locust. Then exhale, draw the hips up and back, find your downward facing dog. Awesome, inhale, left leg extends. Then exhale, step your foot in between your hands, lower the right knee down. Once more, low lunge, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling. Dig down through your right shin, navel up and in, front ribs in. Keep reaching, you got one more breath. And then exhale, hands flat. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and then step forward towards the top. It's halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward, release. Beautiful. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then exhale, palms towards your heart, release your hands to your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. This time, hands flat, step your right foot back. Nice. Keep the right knee lifted. Press down through your right palm. Reach the left fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. So open up through your chest. And start to feel the outer left hip and the front right hip. So make sure your right hip isn't sagging down. I want you to press through your right foot actively and then press the ground away from you. Keep the pelvis high. Yeah, take one more breath here. Listen. Look at your right hand and then scoot the right palm forward about a palm print. Then I want you to rock onto the baby toe edge of your right foot and slide your left foot about halfway down the mat. So we're in a supported side plank variation. Now all 10 toes should point towards the left edge of your mat. Nice. Continue to keep the pelvis lifted. Take a big inhale breath. And exhale, allow the outer right hip to fall down. Draw the left fingertips back with you. 2 more times. Lift up through the left hip. And then exhale, allow the right hip to lower down, left palm reaches back. Nice, one more. Press and lift. Exhale, lower the right hip down, left palm down. Lift up through the left hip. And then set your left palm down, step back, high plank. Once more, shift forward. And then exhale, your vinyasa, chaturanga, or lower all the way. Up dog, cobra, locust. Then exhale, draw the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, right leg up and back. This time, track your right knee over towards your right shoulder. Nice. Inhale, right leg up and back. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. This time I want you to squeeze through the inner thighs, squeeze through your low belly, lift your torso, arms extend all the way up, come into a high lunge, crescent lunge, so Anjaneyasana. You see that the right knee is over the right ankle, and then like you did before, front left hip is extended, so it's as if you're pressing your heel towards an imaginary wall. Now one more smooth breath, reach and extend, sink down a little lower. And then exhale, hands flat, step forward, left foot to the top. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Wonderful. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then slide both palms towards your heart, release your hands to your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, press through both feet. Then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Nice. Halfway lift, look forward, long spine. Exhale, hands flat. Step your left foot back and keep the left knee lifted. Once more, press down through your left palm. Reach the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Once more, take inventory of your hips. So if the left hip is kind of disengaged, press through your left foot a lot. Keep the right hip high as well. One more breath here. Open up through the chest. And like we did on the other side, look at your left hand, scoot it about a palm print forward. You'll roll onto the baby toe edge of your left foot, then slide your right foot about halfway down the mat. Now keep the outer right hip lifting. Take a deep inhale breath to prepare. And then exhale, lower the outer left hip down, right palm reaches back. 2 more times, lift up through the outer right hip. Draw the right arm overhead. And then lower the left hip down. Just 1 more. Press, lift. And then lower the left hip down, right palm back. So this time as you press and lift, reach. Set the right palm down, step back to a high plank. Big inhale breath. And then exhale, chaturanga or lower all the way. Up dog, cobra or locust. And then exhale, draw the hips up and back, find a downward facing dog. Please take a deep inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. Beautiful. Left leg extends up and back. And then this time, track your left knee over towards your left shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg extends up and back. And then exhale, draw your foot in between your hands. Set up for your high lunge, squeeze through the inner thighs, use your low belly strength, and lift your torso, arms extend all the way up and overhead. The same thing, same alignment. You got your left knee over your left ankle, and then right hip is fully extended back. So visualize I'm pressing your heel up and over your toes, but you're trying to resist that. At the same time, front ribs draw in, both sides of the waist, really, really long reach. And then exhale, hands flat to the mat, step forward, right foot to the top. Knees halfway, lift, inhale. And then exhale, fold forward. Beautiful. Draw your feet as close as comfortable. And then sit down low, find your chair pose or Utkatasana, your fierce pose. So it's kind of like this thunderbolt shape that you're creating, and a lot of weight is in your heels. So notice you're sticking your butt out, allowing the belly to drop down. Think about hip points coming towards the bottom ribs. Now take 1 more big breath. See if you can sit a little lower, feel the quads, outer hips. And then exhale, fold forward, release. Please find a halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Beautiful, exhale, deepen the fold. Once more, sit down low, find your chair pose. And this time I want you to lower your seat, set up for Navasana, boat pose. So feet can be on the ground, you can elevate your shins, or if your hip flexors are having it, straight through your legs. However, I want you to lean back far enough, you feel your low belly start to turn on, but then the chest stays lifted. So notice if the upper back is starting to round. Feel your heart lift up. Now as you balance here on your sit bones, feel everything hug in towards the center. And then begin to press an imaginary wall away from you. Now take a big inhale breath. And then exhale, I want you to twist on over to your right and press. Make a firm point of contact with your left forearm to your right thigh. Beautiful. Inhale, come back towards center, and then twist to your left. Make a firm point of contact with your right forearm to your left thigh. Press. Now 1 more time. Inhale, come back towards center. And then exhale, twist and press. Nice. Inhale, center. And then exhale, twist, press left. Really nice. Inhale, come back to center. Keep the chest lifted. Hold here for 3. Nice. 2. And then 1, cross at your ankles. Bring them underneath. Hands forward. And then step back. You have an optional vinyasa or hips up and back straight to a downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale, breath, fill it up. And smooth exhale, breath, let it go. Next 1 more, big inhale. Open up, exhale, let go some heat. Awesome. Inhale, right leg up and back behind you. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Look at your back foot, turn and ground it flat. Come up to a warrior 2. So squeeze the low belly, arms extend all the way up and out like wings. And just take these next few moments, check your stance. So wrists roughly over the ankles, and sink down low into the right knee. Lift up and out of your waist. Both arms reach. Press weight through the baby toe edge of your left foot, so feel the outer left hip. Take a deep inhale breath. And then exhale, straighten through the right leg, arms extend all the way up. Nice, 2 more just like this. Rebend through the right knee. And then exhale, straighten through the right, arms extend up. Nice, 1 more. Inhale, rebend through the right. And then exhale, straighten through the right, arms extend up. Nice, this time as you rebend through the right knee, reach forward slightly, tip up and back, find a reverse warrior. And so you got little to no weight in your back hand. You can always take a half bind as you'd like. Pay attention to the right knee, keep it bent as you extend all the way up. There's 1 more here. Nice. Circle the palms down and step back. Optional vinyasa here or hips up and back straight to a downward facing dog. Use the full inhale in your back bend. Full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. Other side, left leg extends. And then exhale, draw your foot in between your hands. Once more, look at your right foot, turn and ground it flat. So back foot roughly parallel to the back edge. And then arms extend all the way up and overhead. Once here, continue to sink down low through the left knee. Yeah, so left knee over the left ankle. And back foot at least parallel or slightly turned in. Hug the outer hips towards the inner. And see that your pelvis is neutral as opposed to 1 hip higher. Take a big inhale, breath to prepare. Exhale, straighten through the left leg, arms extend up overhead. Nice, 2 more times. Rebend through the left knee. And then exhale, straighten through the left, arms extend up overhead. Nice, once more. Rebend through the left knee. And then exhale, straighten through the left, arms extend up overhead. Really nice. Rebend through the left knee. Come back to your warrior 2. This time, reach forward through the left palm a bit. Tip up and back, your reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. So notice this isn't a back bend where you're leaning your chest back. It's a side body stretch. So as you lean your torso towards your right thigh, feel the left lung expand like we did in the beginning of class in our child's pose. 1 more here. And then circle the palms down, step back. Optional vinyasa or hips up and back straight to a down dog. Full inhale, up dog, cobra, locust. And full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So start to decelerate. So right leg up and back. And then draw your right foot to the outside of your right palm. Lower the left knee down if that's accessible. You're working with tighter hips and the left leg might be elevated. So lizard pose, scoot the right foot forward and out. Either hang up onto your palms, hang up onto your palms, or lower down to blocks, books, whatever, underneath your forearms, or all the way down to your forearms. And just start to release any control that you have of the head, neck, shoulders. If you need a little more space, you can always press your right palm to your right knee, roll onto the baby toe edge of your right. This feels pretty intense. You can always scoot the left knee forward, shift the hips back a bit. If you want to get into your front left hip 1 more time, you have the option to bend into your left knee. Root down through the left palm, forearm, and the right arm draws all the way up and overhead. Grab a hold of your foot. But this is an option. Take 1 more smooth rounded breath here. And rise all the way up to your palms. From here, it's just a transition over towards pigeon. So I want you to scoot your right heel, right ankle all the way across your mat. And lower the shin down. So it'll be pretty parallel towards the top of your mat-ish. If you're working with tighter hips, you'll find that the heel comes a little closer towards the groin, which is fine. I just don't all the way collapse onto the right. So if this is not working for you, just stay lifted, or you can do this seated, like a figure 4, right ankle up and over your left thigh, or reclined, where you'll interlace your hands. But you got 3 options here. You can also add the forward bend in your pigeon. And once more, just allow the torso to drape down if you are in the forward bend, and feel the outer right hip 1 more time. Let's continue to release control of the head, neck, shoulders. Notice where they're at. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath here. Okay, so when you are ready, rise all the way up to your palms if you have been in the forward bend. If you are in a different plane of motion, you'll come back to this shape roughly. From here, I want you to thread your right leg all the way through. So you'll create a 90-degree angle with your leg, so kind of like this L shape. And then bring your hands forward in front of you. And then you'll land onto the outer right hip, so pull your entire body here. So now you'll start to notice a deep old spinal twist. So you can stay here with your palms directly forward. If you need a little more of a twist, then you'll walk your hands towards the right side of your mat. Stay lifted up onto your palms or lower down to blocks underneath forearms or all the way down to your forearms. And we'll take 2 rounds of breath. Let's take 1 more smooth breath. If you're lowered onto your forearms, rise all the way up to your palms. Walk them back towards center. And you have 2 options to come out of this. Left leg stacked on top of the right, come to all fours, or press into your back foot, press into your palms, right leg up and back. And then eventually come back to a downward facing dog. So switching sides, left leg extends up. And then step your left foot to the outside of your left palm. Lower your right knee down. Once more, stay lifted up onto your palms. Or lower down to blocks, books, underneath forearms, or all the way down to your forearms. Anything that feels accessible here. You can wiggle the left foot forward and out as much as you'd like. So this side is a little tighter for me, so I tend to shift my hips a little further back and my right knee is a little closer as opposed to my right side. So that's one way that you can modify this. Otherwise, if this is feeling pretty open through the inner left front right hip, you can scoop the right knee back, allow the hips to sink down. But wherever you are, head, neck, shoulders, really, really heavy down towards the mat. You did so, other side, you can take the quad stretch here, bending your right knee, drawing the left arm all the way up, over, and around. You need a little more intensity. Instead of taking the twist, drive the left shoulder down. 1 more breath wherever you are. Go ahead and rise all the way up to your palms. And like you did on the other side, slide your left ankle all the way across. And then even out the weight in your hips before adding the forward bend. Alternatively, if this is not working for this left side or there's any knee pain, then you'll come to a seat, draw your left ankle up and over your right thigh, or you can do this on your back where you interlace your hands. Double pigeon is also another option. But allow the torso to drape down. Feel the outer left hip, outer right hip. As you decelerate, slow down the breath even more. Take inventory of the back, front, outer, inner hips. Beautiful. 1 more breath. If you're in the forward bend, rise all the way back up. And then orient yourself where you have your left shin out in front and the right leg will extend back. I want you to continue to slide your left shin all the way across. So once more, you have a 90-degree shape through your legs. Bring your hands out forward and then use that, pull yourself forward. So you're on your outer left hip bone. Once more, stay, or you'll walk your hands towards the left. And then you lower down to blocks, books underneath forearms, or all the way down to your forearms. Feel the twist here. So one more sweet round of breath. We will rise all the way up to your palms when you're ready. And you have your options on how you'd like to come out, either stack your legs or press through the back foot. And we'll meet in a downward facing dog. All right, take a smooth inhale breath. Look forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands. And lower all the way down to your back. So a few back bends. So bend both knees above the ankles, and then hands to the sides of your hips. And then use the inhale breath to lift your pelvis, low back, mid back, upper back. And squeeze through the inner thighs, glutes. And instead of jacking your pelvis up as high as you can, think about lifting up from the breastbone. That way you create a little more length through the low back. Then by consequence, the hips will lift a little higher. You can take robot arms to prop your chest up and grab for the edges of your mat. Alternatively, you can interlace your hands underneath your low back, shimmy your shoulders underneath. But these are also options as well. Take one more breath. And then lower all the way down. Hold one more just like this. Use the inhale breath, lift your pelvis, low back, mid back, upper back. Come back to your bridge pose. Continue to squeeze through the inner thighs, glutes, a lot. And then heart continues to lift up. Last big breath. And then slowly lower upper back, mid back, low back. Beautiful. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet to touch, knees out really wide, so you recline bound angle. Just allow the spinal column to neutralize. One more breath here. Close both knees in together. And we'll close this out with Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. So drive both knees towards your armpits and slide them to the outsides of your rib cage. So right now I'm holding onto my shins. That's an option. You can also grab behind your hamstring, outsides of your calves, ankles, feet. And rock it out from left, right, left a few times. One more round of breath. Release your grip. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Squeeze all the muscles in your face as you draw your forehead to your knees. Sip in a little more air. And release to your final posture, Shavasana, corpse pose. Arms out, legs out, everything really heavy. If you'd like seated meditation, if that resounds a little better for you, that is also an option. If you have the time, the space to rest, to be still, just stay for a few moments. Just embrace the quiet, the stillness. I'll guide you out very shortly. Start to become aware of your breath, how the belly expands and contracts. And as you feel the entire back body heavy, just acknowledge whether your body's telling you to stay resting, stay resting. Otherwise, draw some life back into the fingers, the toes, as you rock your head on its axis, left, right, right, left. And then in your own time, arms extend all the way up and overhead. Oh, hi, Max. And extend both legs out long in front of you. Nice, roll onto your favorite side. Come into a supported fetal posture. Utilize your bicep as a pillow. And just take a moment before rising up. Find gratitude for your health, your body, the ability to move, to practice. And using your opposite palm, rest yourself up to a comfortable seat. Maintain the softness in the gaze, eyes to stay closed, hands towards heart center. Thank you for joining me in this practice from a distance. Stay safe, stay healthy, be well. Let me know if there's anything I can do to support you during this time. Thank you. Namaste.
Thanks, Jess.
You got it. Let me know if this was helpful, if there's anything else that you'd like to see. Also, if you feel inclined, this is donation-based and all the stuff is in the email that I wrote, or you can message me or whatever. I went a little over time, so thanks for doing that, and I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'll figure that out and get my shit better together. Have a good rest of your day, you guys.